Hey.
And we're back.
Welcome back to another voyage. Grab your bags, get on board, find your room, find a seat, kick up your feet, relax, and welcome to another voyage with at the helm with Kelly and Wayne.
I'm Kelli.
You are.
Yeah.
And I'm Wayne. Glad to be back here once more again.
We almost forgot. We've had a couple of snow days. Anybody else snowed in? So snow days kind of throw everything off, and we was like, "Oh, it's Thursday."
Yeah, we were.
It's our podcast day.
Yeah, we were actually out like an hour ago, and we're like,
Just
hey,
surveying the roads.
yeah, seeing what's going on,
Roads look good in our area.
and all of a sudden we realized, hey, we got something to do this evening.
Yeah, something to do.
So here we are. Hope everybody,
'Cause
how's
we
everybody
know
making it in the snow?
The fans will be waiting.
Yes, and I figured since people weren't working today, that we
Some people might be working today. Your privilege is showing, bro.
Oh,
Some people are probably still working
okay,
today.
maybe they couldn't, but people are snowed in, so maybe they're not going nowhere this evening. I'm not saying not working,
Yeah.
but people, maybe snowed in, maybe not be doing anything. So we might have a couple thousand people on here. I don't know.
Hey, that's what we've been waiting for.
I mean, maybe
Gotta happen.
Maybe the snow is what it's
Gotta
going to be. Maybe the snow is what it's going to be. Good evening, Sam. Hope all is well with you. Where you're at? How did y'all make it through the snow? Is everybody good?
Yep.
Hope so. And we have been so it's really weird because normally when it snows, I'm going to work. But this has been, I guess, the first time ever that we have been closed. The town has been officially closed, and we have not had to go in to just, to work. We just kind of been on call in case we had emergencies and things like that. So it's been kind of weird. But I have been kind of working remotely. I have my computer, so there's still been, so Teams has been a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Zoom meetings can be a good thing, but also bad. Because even though they have shut down work and officially closed, we're still having meetings all day long. So, but hey, we're still trying to get stuff done. Still moving, still trying to make things happen. So,
yep. I was glad that you didn't have to go out like this. These are things that people take for granted. That when we are inconvenienced, there are people out who are taking time away from their families to try to keep things moving. So even though we're inconvenienced, the people who are out there brining the roads and scraping the roads and pulling people out the ditch after they said stay home if you don't have to be out, like those people are they're sacrificing family time. So I'm glad that you didn't really have to get out and do that today, because you have done it faithfully for 25 years, I guess.
20 years, long time. So glad for those folks who have stepped in and now do that, and I don't have to. So, but yeah, hopefully all of those people are safe, and all the people who did have to travel and get around are continuing to be safe. So a lot has happened since the last time we were here. Um, we had a Valentine's Day celebration. Was actually the next day after our no, well,
No,
it was a week later.
Following week. Yep.
It was a week later. So we had a whole week to get prepared. We had a Super Bowl halftime show that kind of took over social media for a little while and kind of still out
taking
there.
over, yeah.
Still out there.
Kendrick Lamar is the GOAT of the week, I guess.
Yeah.
I like
of
Kendrick.
the month. Yeah. So yeah, it's amazing the I guess the commentary and the difference in all of the information that we see. So it's the different contrast of everyone who is who saw the show, and people who said, we don't even know who this Kendrick Lamar guy is. Yeah.
A lot of people found out because Not Like Us is back at #1 on the Billboard charts. After, it played itself out all summer, Kendrick is back at #1, and that is the power of the people. You were either curious about him, never heard of him, wanted to go, but whatever pushed the algorithm, pushed it, and Not Like Us is #1 back on the Billboard charts, which is kind of amazing.
Again, yes.
It's amazing. Like, what are we, 6 months out from when it was #1? But that's the power of the people. Which, speaking of the power of the people, I mean, the summer. This summer was when it was #1.
Oh, I didn't even know when it was released. I mean, it's been.
Yeah, he called Drake a pedophile all summer. He had us out here bopping to. Had us out here bopping to calling that man a pedophile all summer.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah, so he's back. And speaking of the power of the people, I was watching something the other day, and there was a lady on there, and I don't know her name, but apparently a lot of you know her. I want to say her first name is Alexis. I don't know, but she is she was the host of the podcast Call Her Daddy. So I do remember hearing about that because she interviewed Kamala Harris before the election. So that was the first I had heard of Call Her Daddy. But what was interesting to me is that she started this podcast during the pandemic. Just thought she would try it. She wasn't a podcaster, kind of like us. Thought we'd give it a try.
I wonder if she told her husband.
She don't have no husband. She just decided. She told her daddy. She told her daddy that she wanted to do a podcast. Mm-hmm. Got some equipment, started. Sirius XM just offered her $125 million for her podcast. So, the question of the day is, where them fans at?
Where they at?
That's what we need.
Where they at?
That's what we need. Like, we gonna put in the work. But I mean, she got offered $125 million. So I am gonna go maybe listen to a couple of the podcasts just to kind of see, what is she talking about? What do we need to be talking about? What do we need to be doing? Because that's a nice little check for somebody who just decided out of the blue that they would start a podcast because they were bored during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
what's up, Jay? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Jay?
So yeah, and really, I mean, I don't know if I'm 49%, 48% ownership of at the helm, maybe 50. I don't know. I don't know where.
I mean, you're the captain. We already established, so you at least 51. At least 51.
I know.
At least 51.
I told you that just meant I'm trying to.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm trying to show for you.
We're gonna move it along. We're gonna move it. Oh, okay, that's good. That's a good one.
I'm trying to take care of you.
Nice.
I'm trying to show for you and show you the world, and I'm trying to be at the helm to make sure that you're comfortable.
I like it.
That's all I'm saying.
I like it.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, I just say you're the captain. That's when you're just feeling some kind of way about it.
Now, I'm tired too, Jay. But yeah, so if we could sell this for 125 million, I'm willing to share.
Yeah.
If some of the people that are on here this evening, they can help us get these numbers up and help us get a check.
I don't even know where we are. Have y'all liked and shared? Have you liked and shared at the helm page? Because that's all it takes. It just take a couple of fans. Where them fans at?
That's it. Yeah.
Where them fans?
Yeah, Jay. It's work, man. It's work trying to stay. Hey, stay on top. And some of y'all saw me out there on a post struggling last week about somebody gonna ask me a question.
Was it a struggle? Was it a struggle, really?
I mean, yeah, people thought that I had just fell off the deep end, and people like, oh no, I know.
Listen, now, okay, it's social media, so it's really a snapshot. Just know that there was like never any. We were never in any jeopardy of anybody being really upset about it because what I said at the time is, don't lie to me. I appreciate you telling me the
Hey.
truth.
And again,
I appreciate you telling me the truth.
and again, context is, I mean, if y'all would have known what that man just did,
And
the
it's
whole,
social media. Like y'all gotta stop thinking everything on social media is real. Stop.
oh, it was real though.
Everything on social media is not real.
Not
And
real.
and if you don't respond to it like it's real, people won't know.
I thought I was fighting for my life.
Did you? Did
No,
you really? We
I-
in the house together.
I did. I did.
Like, you were looking at me.
I
We're in
did.
the house together.
I did.
But yeah, for those who don't know, I asked Wayne, and I guess you want to give context. We were watching Waiting to Exhale, because there was a part in there that I keep hearing, he's a good man, Savannah. And I didn't remember that was in there. So I watched the whole movie. And at some point, one man told one of the other women that you're the only woman I ever loved. So I just asked him.
Hold on. That's not context enough.
We were watching the movie. Somebody said it, so I
Okay,
asked the
hold on.
question. We don't have to give like these long stories you like to give using all these words. We don't need a lot of words.
No, that man had a whole wife and a kid
He did.
in another state.
But what difference does that make? He said, "You are the only woman I ever loved." That is what prompted the question.
But clearly, that man was just feeding her a line and leading her on, stringing her out.
Babe,
So
the
way,
conversation we were having had nothing to do with the movie.
oh, okay. Oh,
I heard him say that, and I just thought, how can that be? The only woman you ever loved, you're not married to. Let me just check in. Let me just do a check right quick.
Yeah.
Hey, am I the only woman you ever loved?
and what I did, you don't.
You're the only one I love right now.
you,
That's what you saying.
you the only one I love right
You're the
now.
only one I love right now.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, really too deep. Like he's going. It's social. First of all, it's social media. It's social media, and it's my social media page. There is no telling what might show up on my social media page. Like, there's no need to try to add real life to social media. And I saw that you also said that's why he a pastor, is it because of the manipulative nature that most of them
was the
have.
other thing.
That when he was talking about you being the captain, I know.
I would say manipulative.
Because I'm just again, this is my experience. This is my experience. But anyway, what were we talking about?
Thank you, Jay. Now manipulator.
Good answer. It's possible. So anyway, I just asked the question, and I appreciate that you was truthful in the moment, because don't be gassing me up. I think that's exactly what I said to you. Good answer. Don't be gassing me up.
Ooh,
So,
tough too. I'm nervous for a minute.
hey, Vincent.
Hey, Vincent, what's up? Oh, Vincent gonna help us out too.
We
Vincent,
love
we're
you
trying
right
to
there.
sell this podcast. We're trying to sell this podcast for $125 million. So we need to build up. Our fan base. So we need your help. We need your help.
Stan trying to help us get that 125 million.
Oh yeah.
Saying if you are on the page, just go to the top and just like the page. And you can share it. There should be a button there where you can share. Just like and share. Just tell people to log on.
Send it to any
Once
promoters
we
you
get
may
the
know,
numbers up, we get the numbers up and people come looking.
producers, TV people, writers,
Yeah.
Sirius XM hosts, anybody y'all know.
Yeah.
They give us a leg.
People who are highly entertained by my social media posts.
Definitely.
People who are highly entertained by the things that the hashtag Wilhelm life. Because I mean, there's a lot of things that go on.
Whole lot.
Most of the things are not well, they are post worthy. We just can't post them. We went to a Mardi Gras party over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We was clubbing with J Mama.
Oh yeah, with Miss Lois. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we was out there. But the I guess you can say the cause or the event. What?
Yeah, so I don't know how to just hop to that, but that's how my mind works.
But the cause of the event was like really good, because there's a local church in our area that has a outreach fund, benevolence fund. I'm not sure the technical name, but they try to help people in the community who are in need of services and potentially utility bills. Just different things that they try to help with. And so they do some fundraisers throughout the year to help raise money to put in that fund to reach out and help the community. And so this was one of their fundraisers that they had, a Mardi Gras party. And there was also a silent auction that was going on while we were there. But I thought that
And
was,
I meant to, I know, I meant to bid on that Mark Jacobs cottage.
oh yeah,
Maybe
it-
we can find if somebody had to win it. But anyway,
yeah. But it was good. I thought the Saints were being fast. We let our hair down for a little bit, but we kept it holy. We ain't seeing damn bit. We had
I
a
will say
ball.
that the MC was a first lady of another church, and I was really feeling her vibe. Like these the first ladies I like to hang out
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
These the first ladies I like to
Yeah.
hang out with.
There was another pastor there. I ain't gonna call his name. He might not want nobody to know.
Yeah, because everybody don't want everybody
Yeah.
to know their business.
But I thought but again, it was a good cause, and so we're looking to potentially have some of those in 2025. We're going to have a few events where you can come and enjoy yourself, and family and that's the name of it, family and community empowerment services.
Well, Faces is the name of it. But that's
Yeah,
what it
Faces.
stands
Yeah.
for.
So we're going to look into doing that as well, to have a few events where we can, leave it as a fundraiser. People can come out, enjoy, have a little dinner and date night with your significant other, with your partner, with your friends, or if you're single, come and bring a friend, or however you enjoy the evenings. But come out and have a little fun, and also help raise funds for the community. So enjoy that. We had a good time.
It was fun. As usual, you were kind of trying to clown me because we said we was ready to go, and then I think we danced for another 45 minutes.
Woo. Yeah. So,
First of all, you were looking at me like, "Are you okay?" Because I was just kind of sitting there,
yeah,
like,
yeah. You was
"Are there activities like we ate?"
yeah. Yeah. So I
I'm
don't
probably
even know
not going to visit another table to talk to people because
and what I do.
it's
That
not
ain't
really what
you
I do.
Yeah.
So
And then next thing I know is like, well, you about ready?
people on our table started leaving. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's time to go. And then they started playing line dances.
And then I was like, okay, I guess we're not leaving.
Ooh,
And we line danced for 45 minutes.
we did.
It was good.
Had a good time. We
Got
were
some-
teaching some and learning some.
Got some exercise in. My heart rate up a little bit. Doctor would have been proud. Was that good 20 minutes of exercise that day added to. So yeah, you going to the single night. It's gonna be, we're gonna have one of them too. It's gonna be
It'll be all inclusive.
It's all inclusive, single.
We have
doubles.
not rolled back our DEI initiatives.
Yeah, we're not.
It will be all inclusive.
All inclusive. Everybody there.
Hey,
everybody.
Sister Crew, how you doing?
Yes. It's
Good
been
to
a
see
while.
you.
We're still here. So we mentioned the halftime show earlier. Put in how did everybody enjoy the show? Did how'd you feel about it? Like it, didn't like it? Was like, hey, it was good.
Did you even watch it?
Did you even watch it? Yeah.
Normally, I'm not a football fan. I normally will watch. Sometimes if we're going to a Super Bowl party, I normally watch for commercials. I wasn't even really interested in that. But for some reason, I did take a vested interest in the Eagles. I think I said that on our last, it was Go Eagles for me. So my team won.
Because of their theme song.
I don't know if I said that on here, but that was the reason.
One of the reasons.
Like it was the week of the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts is he's a nice guy.
He's down to earth.
I like that he has an all women. His team is all women. His marketing manager, his agent, and it wasn't. He said intentional. He was just looking for the best people, and the best people for him just happened to be women.
Yeah, he was super humble. So Jay said he loved it. Yeah, I thought it was hot too. I thought it was good. Did y'all say something about single Susan Chrome?
Well, we were talking about a Mardi Gras party that we went to over the weekend. It was a fundraiser for a local organization that helps their local neighbors with people who might need assistance with their utility bills or whatever. So they did a fundraiser, and we went and we were talking about bringing that same concept maybe to our church, that we could do the same thing in our community in Durham. And we were just saying it would be, Wayne did mention it would be date night, but then he rolled it back and said, but if you're single, you can also come.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And we
whatever
just say
night.
we'd be all inclusive. So
Yeah, it's whatever night.
stay tuned for more information about how we would do that. Hey, Miriam.
Miss
Tina.
Miriam. Miss Miriam. Miss Miriam.
So Miriam was on the post when we were talking about, am I the only woman you ever loved?
Oh, she was on. Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of, yeah.
Oh.
So we did have that conversation already.
Oh, Miriam, yeah. Did you think I was like, I had messed up for real?
I mean, most people on the post thought you had messed up.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh my
they're like,
god,
bro, I can't believe you said
I
that.
I know he didn't."
But what is the other answer?
Oh no.
Do you want him to say yes and not be truthful to me? His beloved of 32 years? I know we don't want that. We don't want that.
And I told her, I added that to the conversation too. You the only one I love right now, and you the only one I love the last 32, 33 years.
Yeah, I didn't put that part in there.
Yeah.
Because when you first said you the only one I love today, just kind of set me back. Just set me back a little bit.
Then I said right now.
Just kind of set me back a little bit. So I will say that.
The question caught me off guard, I'm gonna be honest too. I'm like, what? Huh?
Free. Wait, Susan Cruz said she thought somebody was organizing. That's exactly what we're organizing.
What's that?
A safe, fun, freak-free event. That is exactly what we're organizing.
Yes. That's what yes. Yeah, please, yes, that's what we're doing.
But what we really were talking about is how this podcast, not this podcast, but a podcast got picked up by SiriusXM for $125 million by someone who started it during the pandemic because she was bored. She spoke, told her daddy she wanted to start a podcast. She started a podcast. And here we are 5 years later, and it's worth $125 million. And I've never heard of it. So, I mean, not saying that I am the barometer, but I'm kind of the barometer. Like, I kind of got my finger on the pulse of things. And I never heard of it. So we were just saying, if you're here, make sure that you like and share, because we're not even gonna be like greedy. If somebody want to give us $125,000 for the podcast, we'll take it. We'll stay on as contributing partners and producers.
Yeah.
But this social media thing is it's out of control right now. Like, people were about to lose their livelihoods when they thought TikTok was shutting down, because people are literally making a living posting content on social media. So it's a thing that we can do. It is not, definitely, I guess we see that it is not outside the realm of reality when SiriusXM has offered somebody $125 million to sit and talk to people. I mean, right now we're talking to each other, but we would love to have, people come in that we can talk to. But
we're gonna...
So like and share. Yeah. Jay, where are we right now? Because you're kind of our shadow producer. How many likes? How many people do we have that have like? We were trying to get to 200 at one point.
Yeah.
But
Jay, yeah.
Jay, is it the free part that you don't align with?
No.
I don't know. What part? What don't you align with?
I think that's the part.
The safe. I think you probably sign on with safe and fun.
Yeah, I think you would do safe and fun.
Safe and fun, you might not have a problem with. But
now there might have been some other people at the party that was, they might have been getting a little freaky, but
I will tell you, there was this couple there, and I know they were at least in their 80s, like late 80s, and they played this slow song, and they were, they got up and they were slow dancing, old people, like we call it slow dragging.
Yeah.
They were doing the slow dance, and it was the cutest thing, how she just nestled her head like in the small of his neck. They were so cute. Just kind of shuffling around the dance floor. That was really cute. It was like, that is what we can aspire to. If you don't say things like, you're the only one I love today, we can aspire to that.
Oh no, what? You lost me. What you talking?
I'm just saying, we can be them. We can be them. We can be them people that are in their late 80s.
Yeah.
Still loving on each other. If you don't say things like, when I ask you, am I the only person, if I'm the only woman you ever loved, you say you're the only one I love today. We can be them people.
I say it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we talking about the people. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the people that were slow dragging in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would have had the same answer.
He might not have.
He was wise.
Yes.
As me.
Yes.
I know a loaded question when I hear one.
Tika, so much is going on.
Yeah.
So much.
Tika, yeah.
So much is going on.
I need an attorney. I need to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Tika's not the kind of attorney you need, though. Yeah.
How you know?
She don't know how to bust in doors, though. I might need an attorney. She got to bust in doors. I might need an attorney. Anywho.
But Jason, you say you didn't like all them lights initially at first.
Like what, the Super Bowl?
No, maybe all the lights we were getting on the
No,
podcast.
I think he was talking about the Super Bowl.
Oh.
That's the thing with reading the comments on Facebook. Like, there's a delay, and then we go back. We're trudging ahead.
Yeah, but when you were saying a while ago about podcast, social media, and how people on TikTok, and it just kind of made me think again of kind of why we started this podcast and what the mission is and what our goal is to to provide information, to be informative, to entertain, but also to enlighten. And that has even came more prevalent through these last couple of years, and even more now, to again make sure that that we have a platform that in our arena or wherever we are to provide information, important information, and about things that that of course we care about and that we want to talk about. But when we talk about the misinformation and the targeted approach to provide and target people on social media every day with misinformation, and you find out more and more and more how that continues to happen. I mean, even now, the latest, I don't know how late it is, but now this administration is trying to say that Ukraine started a war with Russia. And their mindset is if you say it enough, people will eventually believe it. And it's a bold-faced lie. But now, when they say it enough and people begin to believe it, then whatever they do, they feel justified in following them. And so right before we came in here, I actually walked past the TV and I saw that they reached out to President Zelensky. And I always, when I say his name, I always think about the brake salesman on Tommy Boy, who was selling the brake pads, and they had to go see, because what his name's Zelensky.
I don't know.
know.
The only thing I remember from that is fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah, that was good. But so this administration has reached out to the president, and they offered them this deal that pretty much they didn't even offer him any military support. But they said, here's what we want you to do. We want you to give us 50% of all of your mineral resources forever. The revenue, 50% revenue from all of your mineral resources forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. They didn't say if you do that, we'll provide support, we'll protect the country, we'll do this, we'll do what. They just, and when he was like, oh, I don't know about that. Now all of a sudden, this administration says they're upset because he don't want to work with them and he don't want to communicate. But when you start the narrative off that they started the war and they were the problem, and now we're coming in to try to be the rescuer, and you still don't want. So it's that misinformation that continues to go, and people just buy into it. And it's one thing that that we want to make sure that we, in situations like that part of this podcast dispels some of that misinformation. And we could spend a whole hour we could just not only every 2 weeks, we could spend an hour every week, maybe a couple of times a week, trying to combat disinformation and misinformation. And again, we've said we don't want to be on here and just talk about politics for a whole hour every show. But sometimes we need to understand and know, and to make sure that we are providing that good information. So that was part of the reasons of why we want to do.
You bring the picture up
To do this, yes, one of the reasons why we want to do this this podcast was part of that, is to be informative and talk about, issues of, race, interracial marriage, religion, um, politics, and the misinformation that has really destroyed a lot of those institutions because of, again, wrong, just people being wrong.
Yeah. And I know, like, my issue is just the way that it feels like we have no guardrails, no protection. Like, it feels like there is nothing out there that is going to protect us from the foolishness that is happening. And the way that the news that we do take in, it just seems like they normalize things. There is nothing normal about the president of the United States sitting at his desk while a 4-year-old tells him he's not the president and that he needs to leave. And the questions are being asked to someone who has not been elected to anything, who is not even from this country. And the press is asking him, they're asking him questions like he is somebody who we elected to do the things that we're doing. Like, there's nothing normal about that. And it just, I don't know. When I say, and I know I keep saying that I've tapped out, I kind of have tapped out. And that's why I want you to bring up this picture to
Really?
Yeah. So I saw this picture, and at first glance, I was like, yep, that's us. Like, the 92%, like, I did what I was supposed to do, what I thought was best, so that we would not have people losing their jobs. Like, I have friends who work for the federal government who might lose their job. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. Like, I went to the polls and I voted for the person who wanted to make sure that people could afford their insulin, for the person who had a plan for the farmers, who now it's obvious that those farmers, and it's funny how they say American farmers are upset that Donald Trump, the white is always silent.
Always.
The white is always silent. American farmers who went to the polls and voted for Donald Trump, who are now literally about to lose the farm, want Kamala's policies, but they did not want to vote for Kamala Harris.
They didn't want her. They wanted her policies.
So when I saw this picture, I was like, yeah, we gonna rest. The 92% of us, we're gonna take our rest. But as you look at this picture, though, right? But you see the flag there. So we're still, if we're choosing to stay in this country, we're still in this country. And we can continue to watch the dumpster fire, but eventually our building is going to also be on fire. So as much as I want to tap out and say, y'all got it, y'all got it. Y'all 77 million y'all showed up and you voted for that dude, and he had that Project 2025 and he told y'all what he was going to do. Y'all showed up and y'all voted for that dude. The rest of y'all, 6 million of y'all, didn't show up. The people who showed up for Joe Biden, y'all decided what? Y'all's gonna stay home. But I was part of the 92% of sisters who showed up, who always show up for this country and try to drag it out the mud.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, since November, I've been the sister in the 92% with a latte in my hand, watching it burn. But I do realize that I can no longer. That is not sustainable.
Yeah.
That is not sustainable. Because like I said, at some point, the smoke that's billowing is going to be coming from our building. So Jay, I am tapping back in.
but even,
I'm going to tap back in. You can bring it down.
Okay. But I want to ask, others what they think, about this picture. Because when you were talking, I look at this picture. And is one of the lady, the second from the left, is that a middle finger she got up?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. So I saw that, but I also see in this picture that these women are especially the girl that's kind of looking back toward the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's like y'all waiting for us to save again.
Again.
And so it's like, here we are watching things fall apart. Here we are when if you would have put one of us in the right position, first of all, we wouldn't be seeing this dumpster fire. But then I see them sitting there looking just like, we're gonna sit here and watch this for a little bit, and then we're gonna come save y'all again because we and I just feel like that's their, y'all waiting on us to come and bail out one more time.
Yeah, but I feel like these sisters was me.
Oh, no,
These
yeah.
sisters was me on November the 6th, 7th, December 12th,
Yeah.
January. Like, y'all got it. Like, I just feel like they was like, you know what? We tired. Y'all got it. And y'all can have it.
Yeah.
So while it burns, but yeah. But in the spirit of black womandom, we will not just sit by and let it all burn and crumble to the ground. So
like always.
I'm not tapping all the way back in, Jay.
Yeah. And even when
I ain't tapping all the way back in, but I'm not tapped all the way. I am probably still not watching the regular news. So sometimes when Wayne is talking about things, I literally have no idea what he's talking about because I cannot stand to watch it. I cannot stand to watch any of the channels that just kind of make this thing normal. And even as much as I love Jimmy Kimmel and Saturday Night Live, and every night there's a joke about the president, like we're at the point where it's not funny anymore. It's not funny. Like this is real life, and Jimmy Kimmel is probably going to be okay
when they shut him down.
It's not funny. Like it is not funny anymore. So I just again, it is self-preservation. It is how I plan to protect my peace. That's what I am doing for me. But whatever it is that you all can do, whatever you can stand, if you still want to watch Abby Phillips, if you still want to watch Joy Reid, if you still want to watch Rachel Maddow, and I love Rachel Maddow, but I have not. The fact that she came back, like she was retired. Rachel Maddow was gone. And after Donald Trump won the election, Rachel Maddow came back every single night, Monday through Friday. She came back to talk about that man. So we know that it is all a ratings ploy. Again, if we can get these numbers up, we can sell this podcast for $125 million
to somebody.
So we know that it's a numbers game, and as much as they claim that they hate him, I just feel like they're just kind of all in it together. So
yeah, I think I heard Plies the other day on something. I don't even know what he was on, and I like all of his commentaries. And if y'all have ever heard Plies do any commentary, it's hilarious. But he really is dropping knowledge. He said, why do y'all, the media, why do y'all, the Democrats, why do y'all, that man says one thing and y'all talk about it for 24 hours. Yeah. Why? He said, y'all, and his favorite word.
Yeah.
Y'all ought to be MF and bragging about what you doing your own self.
Yep.
And so he literally was, and he was like, why do y'all continue to let them control that narrative? And to have, because they say one word and then you talk about it for the next 24 hours. So they really don't have to say it but once.
Yeah.
And
well, really what we need y'all to be doing is telling us what y'all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also too, I think I said this, we can't continue to hold Democrats accountable or responsible because y'all didn't vote for the Democrats.
Yeah.
The Democrats don't have no power.
Yeah.
So
because
y'all went to the polls. When I say y'all, it's probably not y'all, but y'all know who.
A whole lot.
Y'all know who, 77 million y'all, and did not vote for the Democrats. So I don't know that it's fair to continue to say, oh, what the Democrats doing? What the Democrats doing? The Democrats doing what they can do, which is nothing. Now, they do need to come out and tell us every day what they've done today to try to save this democracy.
Yeah, that's
Because
what they
y'all
need to
told
do.
us that Donald Trump was a threat to democracy. Then Joe Biden brought him right to the White House, took a picture with him and Jill. So I'm like, bro, we don't take pictures with people who is a threat to democracy. And this kind of goes back to a post somebody on here had on their page where it says division. We disagree. It don't cause division. It caused division with me. Right? We are not taking pictures when I have said that you are a threat to democracy. Now, I might continue in my professional stead to say, okay, this is what we do. Peaceful transition of power. We bring the next person to the White House so that I can show him where everything is, where all the nuclear buttons at, and where all the codes at. We might still do that because really, Joe Biden know he gonna be okay too.
Yeah, it's time to be Michelle Obama.
I ain't coming.
I'm done. I'm through, y'all. We've played this game long enough, and it's time to quit playing and people playing in our faces. And again, it goes when you were saying earlier about, when so many, they continue to say, this is what people wanted, this is what people wanted. That's part of that narrative. Because to hear this administration tell it, this is what this entire country wanted. This man did not even get 50% of the votes. He got like 49.79 something. So still, it was a small, they won, so clearly. But to hear them tell it, this was they kept saying, what did they have? A mandate.
They keep saying they had a mandate.
They have a mandate. We won so big. We won so large. We won so bigly. And even that is not factual. That is not factual. And even now, here's the issue, that they still crying from 8 years ago, from 2014, that the election was stolen. That's going to be their
16.
mantra forever and ever and ever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's information coming out now. They're just now getting a lot of results from the election, a lot of numbers coming in, and they are actually seeing that there were millions of votes. Now, not just one side, but millions of votes that did not get counted. There were millions of mail-in ballots that came in that they just decided not to count. There were ballots that came in that didn't have the correct postage on them. They decided not to count. There were ballots that they did not count because they considered, if your name was hyphenated and it didn't have a hyphen in it, but your name was it. So there was just so many things. So they're actually now seeing 4 to 5 million votes. And that's part of voter suppression that they continue to do. And so, again, these are things that this group, this party, will not stand up and say anything about. Now, if this was the other way, again, they still crying about 2014 being stolen.
And here in North Carolina, we have a man who ran for the Supreme Court justice who has lost 3 times.
3. And
he has not given up.
And just last week, lost again.
But he keep losing.
But they're going to continue to appeal. Now, if you know the one word that they have not said about this last election was anything, they ain't mentioned the word stolen because they don't want to slip out. Let's move on. Oh, this was a good and fair election because clearly they won.
Yeah, even though Donald Trump told his people a long time ago, I don't need your votes. We got enough. We got enough votes.
Yeah, and Pennsylvania was one of those places.
We want to say hey to Chucky. Hey, Chucky.
Hey.
Chucky Parker. Just move.
Okay.
Just moving on.
All right. Okay. All right. Hey, Chucky.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. Yes. Yes. They saying, they make up words all the time and just do foolish stuff. But again, that's part of, that was part of the mission here is, again, to be informative. And, and I feel we have those responsibilities within our own circles, even if it's within our family, within our, circles of friends, to at least be factual, and to be able to dispel the information. And, it's one thing that we're going to we're going to try to continue to do um, when that opportunity presents it. And this is going to be one place. And we know that, there's some people that you're not going to be able to tell anything to.
No.
And that's fine. There's going to be some of those people. But there's going to be some people that when you explain some facts to them, they're going to be like, really? Oh, what? And sometimes that may make a difference. And that person may share with someone. That person may share with someone. And we continue to build that and get that information out. Because it is really, um, it's really a shame, again, how they can control that narrative. And and again, even, when you're talking about the media, you know, they don't push back like they should. They don't put now. I don't know if I wish I and I'm gonna find that. I'll play it next week. Y'all need to go find who was the clip of the I can't even think of his name now. He said, "I just want y'all to stand up and do something." He's the Republican Michael Steele.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mike. So y'all Google Michael Steele. I don't even know what show he was on.
I think he was on My Girl Simone Sanders.
Yes,
show.
yeah. So Simone Sanders. He was on Simone Sanders show. Google Michael Steele. And Michael Steele, that's really the attitude that people need to have. And if y'all want to catch Jasmine Crockett, and we've said on here several times, Sirius XM, Roland Martin. And so a lot of times, the clips that I do see of what's going on is clips that they play. Because at least I do trust their journalistic approach of how things are going and their approach of, what we need to do. And how we need to continue to move forward. So they are, those are the ones that, that I'm trying to get information for.
Yeah, so I do want to address, San has said she wondered what the people who voted for him really thinking. And listening to the radio, the programs that I do listen to, there are still some people who voted for him who are in agreement with what the muskrat is doing. They believe that he is finding fraud and misuse and waste, and that he is literally like helping. They're not even worried about the muskrat getting $8 million a day while he's looking for waste. Like, so those are the people women talking about. We're not gonna be able to reach them. We're not gonna be able to reach them with logical thinking. Because there's no way that you can think that the man who is getting $8 million a day from the government to find waste is actually finding waste.
Yeah.
And the people that he's firing, what they're looking for are the trillions of dollars that they need to keep this tax cut for the rich in place. So even all the people that they fired so far has not put a dent in that number that they say that they need.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that we paid the muskrat $8 million a day
and $400 million,
and they have a $400 million contract to buy them ugly trucks that the muskrat's company makes. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
But there are some people like those American farmers who are feeling it.
Yeah.
What they thought was it was only going to affect they them.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was only going to affect they them.
Yep.
They never thought he would come for them.
Yeah.
They didn't know they was part of the they them. So, but now they done messed around and found out.
FAFO.
So there are some. I did see a news clip the other day where they were talking to 4 American farmers. They were talking to 4 American farmers who had all voted for him. And they asked if the election were today, would you vote for him? And they said no. This is where they let their whiteness just take control of them. Like all of the things, the rhetoric that he was saying, the DEI stuff, the rollback and not being woke, being anti-woke.
Yep.
Again, if you think logically, like Black people are really only 14% of the population. And you'll be hard pressed to find anywhere where Black people are 14% of that workforce. 14% of doctors are not Black. Black people are not 14% of pilots. that they have said was the DEI, you know, a DEI was the reason for the crash. Black people are not 14% of a lot of places, but because you thought Black people would be harmed, because you only think about DEI, you only think about Black people. You're not thinking about veterans. You're not thinking about white women. You're not thinking about the people who are disabled. You're not thinking about pregnant people. They sold that message to them that we're gonna put these Black people back in their place. All those jobs that you unqualified white people didn't get, that the qualified Black people did get, we're gonna take them back. So they sold them on that.
And the immigrants taking all the jobs.
And all these immigrants over here taking all these jobs. They sold them on that. But now, some of them work for the federal government who got a copy and paste the email that said your performance is lacking, and so your services are no longer needed. Now they out here, they want to cry to a man who they really thought he cared about them. So now they want to appeal to his empathetic side and say, I voted for you. Please give me my job back. So, yeah. So, but there are some people out there saying who was that stupid. Yeah. They didn't think on his way to they them. On his way to get they them.
They got them.
They got.
Yeah, they got. Yeah.
They didn't think it would be them. And that's where they are. So that's that. And bigly is not a word.
And I'm glad you brought up, you know, this budget thing, because if you could see a pie chart that shows, first of all, how much this country spends. This country spends over 50 cents of every discretionary dollar. Over 50, that's half. It's over 50 cents of every discretionary dollar on military budget. First of all, they're not even they don't mention that part. And what they don't mention is every president that we have ever had always boost up the military fund. All of them. So all of them, you know, so there's no perfect party. And we are trying to make we want a party that's good for the people. But if you wouldn't even be able to see almost the color on the pie chart. It would have to be a line drawn out there and the very small percentage number shown of what they're doing in this budget movement. But again, when people come on TV, when people buy into this narrative, and if you're gonna come back, Rachel, 5 nights a week, then what I need you to be telling people.
Right.
I need you to be telling people how the lies are coming. I need you to be telling people the facts of how they spend money. And the facts of how small this sliver of a pie chart will look like. This is what I need you to be telling people. Don't just be on there telling us all the stupid stuff they're doing. We already know that. But tell the facts of how money is spent throughout this government and how this narrative of the they them is really impacting all of us and making those. So I saw Miriam.
And I do. Well, I see Susan Kroom is here. She said Trump cares about money, 2 things, money and power. Now, Sister Kroom is a veteran.
Yes.
And she will be able to tell you that even though all of that money, the 53% of every discretionary dollar is going to the military, it's not going to military personnel.
No.
Like there are people who are in the military who are deployed, whose families here have to be on assistance that this administration wants to cut. It wants to cut their SNAP benefits. So it's not the soldiers that they're taking care of. It's these contractors.
That's right.
That every time a Republican president gets into office, there's a war. And those people buy those wartime stocks and they become millionaires. Those are the people they're taking care of. They're not taking care of soldiers. I mean, veterans are part of the DEI people.
That's right.
So,
and so a couple of things I heard on Sirius XM the other day. I think Clay might have mentioned it, but I also heard Lamont and Dr. Carr talking about it. That people, when this administration comes on the air and makes these comments, that they can literally watch the market go up and down. They can literally watch the market. So they want to talk about all of this. They want to talk about all of this fraud that's going on in the government, but they don't want to talk about all the insider trading that goes on with all of these elected officials who are making tons of money. Every time this fool gets on TV and says something and the market goes down, goes up, goes down, they are controlling all that insider trading. They're making millions of dollars off the suffering of these people in this country. So again, if Rachel wants to talk about something, talk about those things and talk about those factual things. I see Dr. Roof.
Hey, Dr. Roof.
Good to see you, brother. Always appreciate you and all that you do.
Yeah, they better keep a strong military. You're right, because the world is watching us and we are prime pickings right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we realize it.
Yeah.
But the world is watching the president sit by and let a little 4-year-old tell him he's not the president. The world is watching. So
and that little 4-year-old daddy the other day went and saw, I don't know if he's the president, the prime minister, I don't know what his title is, of India. I'm not sure what it is, but he's the leader of India. He goes and speaks to him. He goes over there by himself. This is the muskrat going to talk to the leader of India. And the clown that sits in this office says, I don't know if he went on vacation or if he was over there talking about policies.
But I'll find out.
But
this man is already talking to world leaders.
Yeah, he's talking to world leaders. And again, it's this misinformation that they continue to do. I saw somebody the other day talking about people talking about Elon Musk going to get all of the information. And of course, now their narrative is that all of the social media, they have information. They have more of your information than Elon Musk could ever get. So again, they know how to twist it. They know how to turn it to make people feel good about what they're doing.
And again, my friend who works for the federal government, who works in the Social Security Administration, there were things that they could not pull up. She worked there. She got clearance. She worked there. There were things that they could not pull up on their computer lest they be fired. But we have given this man carte blanche. And even the military who calls that department, what they call it? Doge, whatever.
Yeah.
They call it what they told them to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a real department.
Yeah.
That was not a government department. It's not real. But when the news people talk about it, they talk about it like it's a legitimate division. Like, and that is really why I tap out, Jay. But I'm tapping back in. But did you see where Sister Kroom said when she went in the military, she was eligible for food stamps?
Yeah. And now that she's out, she's not.
While she was defending the country that everybody loves. Want to wrap yourself in the flag. Like the people who are defending the flag,
putting their life on the line,
are eligible for SNAP benefits that this administration now wants to cut.
Yep. And that's a whole story of why you ain't, how can they be eligible when you love this country so much, you love our soldiers so much.
And they get all the money. Like, you have the money.
You ought to pay them.
Pay the people.
Yeah.
Pay the people.
That's
all right. We are getting to the end of our time.
I know. I want to say. So I saw Miriam, and I don't know if she's still on here, but she asked the question about, how can they know, how can he determine which votes shouldn't be counted? So
she's talking about Griffin here in North Carolina, the Supreme Court race.
Yeah. So,
or was she talking about Donald? I don't know.
But either one. This is what they do not care. They're willing to take the risk that if they can just cancel. And so they've done the research behind the scenes, so they know which counties, they know which areas, which people vote more. They know early voting, which they are cutting out again. They've cut out Sunday voting. They're trying to cut out Sunday voting in North Carolina.
Sold to the polls.
Sold to the polls. So anytime they attack any type of voting, look at who it impacts the most. So they know how to look and see where people vote. Early voting, most time those are Democrats. Most time those are those voters. But in the Griffin case, he's just trying to figure out if he can just cancel vote, period. These 60,000 votes. Mm-hmm. He's like, you know what?
And I need y'all to log on and see if your name is on there. I've seen a couple of names of people who I know. I probably need to contact them. But until we figure out what you can do, right now you should just be contacting your board of election.
And your two
So
senators in this and our two regular senators in this state, Theodore Ted Budd and Tom Tillis, contact them and let them know that these votes should be counted. And again, these American farmers,
these American farmers,
and these American people that live in North Carolina,
these American workers who have been laid off from their federal jobs.
yeah, they don't realize that they part of this 60,000. That's what don't make sense. You're going to suppress some of their votes too, but again, they're willing to take that risk. So we have again, we are grateful. Yes, yep. You are definitely on point saying that. Yeah, he is on. We really do not have a democracy now. We really have an idiocracy.
He crowned himself king yesterday, I think.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. He
Yeah.
said he was king.
Yeah. So I did see something, and there's a whole lot of misinformation going around, and I haven't found out, but that he is trying to make it to where either only him or his, not press secretary, but there's the person's like his Secretary of State, maybe, or whoever.
Lil Marco?
No, not Lil Marco. It's one other guy. They're the only ones that can determine what things are laws and what are not.
Yeah.
So they are really trying to give themselves all the authority. And if you said he made himself, it made me think of king. But yeah, I mean, we are living in an idiocracy right this minute. But we're going to continue. Look forward, to the primaries. If we have one, and we just need to get people out and to overrun and to just change. There's only a few seats that need to come and change where we can make a difference. We off. I'm gone.
Yes.
I'm out.
Yes. Okay, so we are disembarking.
Bye.
We thank you all for coming. Yeah, this is the life that I live with Wayne. He really does not care about time. There is no concept.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
Clearly, you do not. He don't care about time. He don't care about being late. Like he just kind of going just. You know what? You typical white man in his way through life. That's what he do. That's pretty much what.
No, I'm low.
Yeah,
that's real low. Right? That's real low. Right? That's a low blow.
Calling a white man a white man.
That's low blow. When it's got to go and I can't defend myself. That's low. That's low.
Okay, well, that's a perfect time to disembark.
Yep, and you wasted a whole minute calling me out like that.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, the only thing is, okay, I will say I am tapping back in a little bit, Jay. I am still on the ballot for president of our local NAACP. So if you are not a member of the Raleigh Apex branch of the NAACP here in North Carolina, I urge you to please join us. Our election is coming up soon. I don't have a date, but if you are a member 30 days prior to that election, you're able to vote in that election. So I urge you tonight, it's a $30 membership for 1 year, that you please join us and help me push at least our county and our state forward with the work that the NAACP does. This is my, I guess, running mate, because he's running for vice president of the same branch. So some work about to get done. So I will just say it's my disembarkation that you all use your talents. Your talents are needed. Whatever it is that you can do is needed. It's needed to continue to keep us sane, to continue to push us forward, to continue to make sure that we are seen, continue to make sure that we are heard. Everybody can do something. So find out what your gift is, where it can be used, and use it.
Ooh, Jay, you is hilarious. You my friend, though. That's why I love you.
Yeah.
That's why I love my brother.
From we do. He was assigned white at birth. He was assigned white at birth, but he identifies definitely as black. So
then, yeah, that was low blow. That was really low blow.
Brother black. That's your pronoun. No, bro black.
No, that was
bro black.
That was a low blow. That's low blow. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The intentions you said I was trying to do. Woo. So my disembarkation is, as so often they try to continue to divide those that are doing good, those that are trying to move work forward and make progress. Let us continue to stay together. Let's continue to work together. We come from many different backgrounds. We come from many different avenues. We bring so much to this table. And it's not so much, who we are, how we come, but that we don't cause harm to the family and the community. And if you're willing to come in and do this work and not cause harm to the family and the community, we welcome you in. You know, regardless of our differences and backgrounds and no matter what. So let's continue to stick together and work together as people continue to try to divide, because it's going to take all of us to turn this around. So we appreciate everybody. Thank you for another voyage.
Jay, we got to go. But yes, the answer is yes. Wayne is the only man I ever loved. I've been with this man since I was 23 years old. So anybody before that, I don't know. Yeah, this is the only man.
You're guessing me that.
But I do want to say, when you were saying let's walk together, I do want to pay homage to Reverend
Nelson Johnson.
Nelson Johnson, a true pioneer and giant legend in this work, pushing equity forward. He was attacked. He was one of the victims of the Wilmington
riot.
Was it Wilmington or Greensboro? Greensboro
riot.
The Greensboro riots. We lost
in
him this week. He will be laid to rest tomorrow. And if you just want to close us out with his favorite saying.
Yes, when he says, walk together, children, and don't you get weary. Walk together, children, and don't you get weary.
Gotta go.